Hi folks, it's Dr. Brad Semp here, and I'd like to welcome you to the Effortless Productivity Show on Busyness.com. This is the show dedicated to helping you to get out of busyness and get down to business. This particular episode is brought to us by CashMap Systems. CashMap Systems provides step-by-step process maps called cash maps that show you what actions to take and in what order to take them to produce results in your business. Create your free account right now and receive 2 full cash map packages at cashmap.com. Now in episode number 2, we're going to cover a personal example of where I bucked the system and the results didn't turn out too well. I'm going to cover leverage, talk about an earpiece addiction. I'm going to share with you an awesome little tool that's near and dear to my heart called Gliffy, and I'm going to say a few words about McDonald's. Let's get started with Buck the System. This is a segment that we take a look at examples of when people buck the system to produce extraordinary results, or in some cases, buck the system and produce subpar results. What is this all about? Buck the system is a concept that I have that if you want to produce ordinary results, all you have to do is take the actions and follow the herd, follow the crowd of the society at large. If you want to be overweight or mediocre health-wise, just follow and do what everybody else does. Eat the same types of foods that everyone else does. Go out and eat fast food. Don't work out. Work out when you feel like it. You'll produce, I can guarantee it, the results just like everyone else. All you need to do is look around. But if you want to stand out, if you want to be super healthy, super thin, super fit, you need to find a way. You need to build your own process for how you are going to buck the system and produce different results than everyone else. So that's what buck the system is all about. Now, normally we're going to look at situations where people buck the system to produce those extraordinary results. But I want to share with you a little example here where I bucked the system just this last weekend and produced subpar results. And it goes like this. Every Sunday, my son Owen and I wake up and go in very early, about 5 a.m., to Kensington Church. Now, Kensington Church is a church that's centered in Michigan. They launched a campus down here last September, and that's quite frankly what brought my family and I from Michigan down to Florida. We are set up at a high school here in the Florida area, and a group of people go in to transform, to set that high school auditorium and 2 hallways for the kids area up for the day on Sunday. And then it's tore back down at the end of the day. Long story short, Owen and I showed up a little late on Sunday, and rather than checking in, which the process would be, checking in with the tech director and the productions team director, is to find out where the team's at and what needs to be done next, we decide to buck the system. I decide to say, hey Owen, let's go over to this hallway over here and we'll surprise them. We'll go ahead and tear down all the rooms, move the chairs against the walls, get everything ready to rock and roll, and by the time they get over here, they're going to be surprised because they weren't expecting us to be here today. So we did that. Headed down to the next hallway, and the kids director said to us, hey, how do you guys like our new hallway? And my face, my expression on my face must have just dropped, because I'm like, oh no, we just set up, or tore down an entire hallway getting ready for setup, and they had actually moved the hallway. So great little example there where in your own business, right, you need to build the processes and the systems of your business. And you want people to conform to those processes. So bucking the system, I should say, comes at the point that you're designing your systems and designing your processes in a way that's going to produce the results that you want. Once you have those systems and processes in place, you want the people that are enacting them to follow them. This was an example where, as a person who was supposed to follow the process, I bucked it and paid the price for it. So think about that. Do you have examples where you bucked the system and produced subpar results, didn't follow the system or process that was at hand? I'd love to hear from you. Scroll down right now and add a comment below. I'd love to interact with you there, so do that right now if you have an example where you bucked the system. It's now time for our Unload segment. Now our Unload segment is dedicated to helping you to unload your plate. One of the things that you need to do in action design and being productive is to first design those systems, but then look for ways to unload the actions or activities that do not give you the highest return on action. So in unload, the load portion stands for leverage, outsource, automation, and delegation. And today I just want to say a few words about the first one, the L, leverage. Leverage is a very, very important concept, something that you're going to hear a lot about on the show moving forward. And the question that often comes is, Brad, what do you mean by leverage? How do I leverage my actions? Well, what it really means is to design and use your actions in a way that multiplies the results. So let me give you an example from a business standpoint. If you're producing some content in your business, let's say that you're going to produce or film a video. Well, you can leverage that action by taking that video and then transcribing it to the written text. You can strip out the audio, and now you have an MP3 file. You can take that video, that one large video, chunk it up into a whole bunch of mini segments and distribute those out from a marketing perspective. And so from that one single action of recording a video, all of a sudden you've produced more content in the form of written content and audio content. You've now also supplemented maybe a marketing system by feeding that with video segments that can be distributed to drive traffic to your site. So that's just a very, very simple example, again, of leveraging your actions. Designing your actions and using them in a way that multiply results. Taking one action and making it more effective, thereby making you more productive. So I'm going to say a lot more about leverage, outsourcing, automation, delegation as we may move forward. So pay attention and watch for more of the unload segments. It's now time for our Netfix segment. In our Netfix segment, we take a look at technological and electronic addictions that affect your productivity. And what I'd like to talk about today is a personal pet peeve. And if you have one of these, please, please, please do not take this personally. This is my opinion, and I would love to hear your opinion by submitting your comments below. So if you don't agree with me, or if you agree with me, tell me what you think by scrolling down below. But here goes. There's a Bluetooth earpieces. Have you ever been in a store, at the airport, or somewhere else where all of a sudden you're walking and it looks like somebody's talking to you? And you go to turn, or you go to say something, they're not talking to you. They're talking into their Bluetooth earpiece. Now, because I don't own a Bluetooth earpiece, I wasn't able to put one of those on my ear and demonstrate it for you. This is the next best thing that I could find. But the point here is this. In productivity, multitasking hurts you. Single tasking is what you want to do. And when you're single tasking, what you need to do is eliminate all the distractions. You need to condition your environment to make it conducive to ultimate and optimal productivity. So, shutting down your computer, getting out of email, getting rid of the internet, turning off your phone for a little bit of time, and, God forbid, getting rid of that earpiece. So give it a try sometime and let me know what you think and what the effect is on your productivity if you do just that by conditioning your environment and putting yourself in the best position to be productive. It's now time for our Productivity Sucks segment. Productivity Sucks is a segment in which I cover websites, applications, and tools that help your productivity to not suck. In today's episode, I want to cover a web-based tool that allows you to draw process maps or other drawings online, and you can even do so for free. So take a look at this. And today I'd like to expose you to something at Gliffy.com. Now, Gliffy is a web-based drawing application. This is something that I absolutely love. If you know anything about my background, my business Cash Map Systems, or at cashmap.com, where we build and test and produce and distribute step-by-step process maps on how to grow your business. This is right up my alley, and this is a resource that I highly recommend to you and have recommended for years to my colleagues and customers and clients. If you visit Gliffy.com, you'll see that you can get started for free, and you'll see a wide range of assorted diagrams that you can build. Let's take a look at some examples.
Here's a process map, or also called a flow chart example. Here's a network diagram. A music store, wireframe for a website. So you can wireframe all your websites here. Website maps showing the page hierarchy, maybe even your business hierarchy. And getting into some more pretty things like org charts and floor plans. Lots and lots of very cool stuff that you can do at Gliffy.com in a web-based manner. It's as easy as this. Once you're inside after creating your free account, you can just go ahead and start a new document here. You see, you can have a blank document, website software UI design, Venn diagrams, org charts, SWOT analysis, flow charts, network diagrams, business processes, on and on. So let's go ahead and just do a flow chart here. And you can open one of these up, create document, and boom, there you are. And it's as simple as dragging and dropping things onto the interface, adding text, and connecting them. Lots and lots of flexibility here. An awesome, awesome tool that I'd recommend that you add to your arsenal today. You can do so by visiting Gliffy.com.
It's now time for Brad's BS. This is a segment in which I simply spout off about something. Today, I'd like to talk about McDonald's. If you've followed me at all in the past, you know that I love to eat. You know that I work out, or did work out, simply to maintain. However, I've changed. And McDonald's, I have some very select opinions about McDonald's and the quality of food that's there. However, from a system standpoint, you cannot refute the fact that McDonald's is one of the best systemic organizations that exists on the face of this planet. Why is that? Most people think of McDonald's as a burger joint, which they are. But how many locations do they have around the world? I'm not even sure the number, so I'm not going to guess. But it is thousands, tens of thousands. How is it that you can go into any McDonald's at any corner of this globe and purchase a hamburger that tastes the same whether you are in New York or whether you are in Tokyo? The answer is systems. You see, most people think, as I said, of McDonald's as a burger joint. Second, and really actually above that, they're really a real estate organization. But above that, they're really a franchise organization that leverages the power of systems. You see, they have, and I've never been through their training, never owned a McDonald's, and never will. However, I know that they do have a very extensive training program, and it's all baked on that operating manual. That manual that consists of the exact step-by-step actions that any McDonald's franchise must follow. That is the way that they maintain consistency. That is the way they maintain brand. That is the way that they're able to produce products, high-quality products, products, in the same manner across locations across the globe. And it's no different from your business. If you don't have your systems documented, how do you know what you did before? There's no way that you can maintain consistency from one time performing that process to the next. And so I challenge you to start thinking about this now. Start thinking about that from your business standpoint, because if you do not have any documented processes, then it's time to change that. And I'll give you one little tip. This is for another day, another segment. But one little tip. Look for the process that's causing you the biggest pain. Whatever that process is, that's where you want to start. So if you're interested in hearing more about how to actually document those processes, stay tuned for next week, because that's something that I'm going to dive in there for you. And that wraps up today's Effortless Productivity Show, episode number 2. I'd love to hear your feedback, your comments by scrolling down below, submitting your comments down there, and I will personally be interacting with you. I'd like to also remind you to check us out at facebook.com/effortless productivity. Be sure to like us there and participate in the discussion, where we're going to keep you abreast of every show that comes out. And if you'd like further updates, make sure that you subscribe to our Productivity Insights newsletter, where you'll receive a blog posting every week from me, as well as notifications of the weekly show when each episode is released. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching this episode of the Effortless Productivity Show. I'm Dr. Brad Semp, and I look forward to seeing you next week right here.